Hello, this week's BCA video chat is a couple of different faces for you. Myself, Kathy Elliott, and a pretty well-known face around the traps, John Simpson, our president. Welcome, John.
Thanks, Kathy, and hi to everyone.
This week, we're going to talk all things board related and hopefully not bore you. Hashtag dad pun. So coming up at the end of November, we have our 45th AGM. How many of those have you been to, John?
Oh, I'd have to do a bit of a count, but it's probably close on 30 of them.
Goodness.
Yes. Yeah. Not in succession, with a bit of a break at one stage in the middle.
Excellent. And what do you think is really important about members attending the AGM, and what can they look forward to experiencing?
Kathy, I guess that people go, oh, annual general meeting, that's boring business stuff. We don't need to worry. But it is an opportunity for people to learn more about the organisation and what we're doing. BCA, I think, does a pretty good job in communicating with its members, but this is just another and perhaps slightly more formal way for us to present the work of the organisation over the 12 months period up to end of June this year. And of course, we'll come to it in a moment, but we have a special guest speaker this year that's going to add to the event. I think one of the important things about the AGM now is that it's so much more accessible to our members right around the country, because of course, by using this marvellous system of Zoom that we all are so reliant on now, our members can be part of the AGM and can participate with voting and everything, regardless of where they are in the country. And that's not necessarily an involvement with high tech, but people can join via a standard telephone, a mobile phone, or in fact via their computer, and they can simply listen to what's happening, or they can choose to ask questions. And of course, the opportunity to ask questions and have them answered is really one of the major attributes of the annual general meeting.
Fantastic. And what else can we expect on the day, John? And just to remind everyone, it is on the 28th of November at 12 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time.
Yes, and people can work out the time zones across the country from there, because there's too many for us to list. I think one of the important things to say is that there's no special business this year. There's no constitutional changes or anything of that nature. There will be a resolution put to the meeting, Kathy, asking people to endorse the board's decision that we leave our joining and membership fee at zero. People will recall that we set the fee at zero when the pandemic started earlier in the year to make sure that everyone had the opportunity to connect with the organisation. Well, the board's decided that that's a highly successful practice, and in fact, we've had over 100 new members since then. So we are proposing to continue that practice, but formally we need the endorsement of the members at the annual general meeting to do that. Having got all that business stuff out of the way, we have a special guest speaker, and it's in fact one of our BCA members, Associate Professor Linda Agnew. And Kathy, you've worked more with Linda because of her fantastic involvement with our Eyes to the Future project. So you've probably got a little bit more background on it than I have.
I do, John. Yes, I really enjoyed having the opportunity to travel to Armidale to film that particular video that Linda was the star of. And as you mentioned, she's head of School of Science and Technology at UNE and BCA member. And she'll be talking a little bit about her work, but she also will be discussing potential STEM pathways, which I think is going to be a really interesting topic, particularly for BCA members.
It's one of those areas, Kathy, that blind people have tended in the main to shy away from. There are a few notable exceptions of people who have done well in STEM related areas, and I think particularly people like Bill Jolly and others. But by and large, blind people have tended to go more to the law or to the arts or even to the commerce area. So fantastic to have someone like Linda who can encourage particularly younger blind people to think about a career pathway and a study pathway that's around the STEM subject.
Absolutely. Yeah, really looking forward to listening to her speak. Well, that's probably about it for this week, John. Did you have anything else to add?
Only to say to everyone, make sure that you register for the annual general meeting, Saturday the 28th of November, and I'll talk to you then.
Great. Thanks, John. And all the details are on the BCA website. That's us for this week. Thank you.
Thanks, Kathy.